It's recording all right. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Welcome. If this your first time seeing my face, then thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Subscribe, become a part of the family, like the video, leave a comment down below. And if this is not your first time and you're returning, then hey, what's up? I miss y'all too. You don't have to tell me. I've been gone a few days. I've been busy, y'all. I've been really busy, but I miss y'all. And I'm back with another story time. And yeah, I don't want to ramble too much because nobody really watches intros anyway. So let's go ahead and get into the story time, y'all. So y'all, Red. My ex-friend, she was in a lot of stuff back then. She kept herself in a lot of stuff, and a lot of things happened to us when I was her friend. So yes, this story time is going to be about my friend Red. And if y'all tired of my hood story times about these raggedy apartments, honey, I am truly sorry. I am thoroughly traumatized by the things that I went through with these people. And I just haven't got it out of my system just yet. Not yet. I have a few more stories to tell about this place. And yeah, I'm going to just write the dynamic for you guys. So we're going to be talking about my friend Red. And we're going to be talking about Tia. If you watch my playlist or my previous story times, I have talked about both of these women. I'm going to just give y'all a little brief description of how both of them look. Red, I told y'all she was red skin, sort of like me. She probably was even a little lighter than me. She had hazel eyes, and she was a thick girl. She was a little smaller than me, about my height. So y'all get the dynamic, right? I told y'all she always wore her hair. She always had her hair done. She loved her wigs, like I stated in a previous story time. And Tia, I just talked about Tia. Tia, she didn't look like me, but she was shaped like me. If you guys have seen any of my like try-on hauls, you know that I have them big thighs. I have some hips, and Tia was shaped the same. So just kind of picture those two girls. So in these projects, I'm gonna call them projects, we will all hang out. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna lie, we is divided in the project, but it's also unified in the project because nobody really have nothing going on. So me and Red will always hang outside. When we weren't inside her house, we would hang outside. Hanging outside with the D-boys. It was always some tree mans out there with us. It was this lady. I don't want to ride too much on her. She don't even need a name because she's not a part of the story, but she was, I have never seen a woman like her before. She was very unkept. She was very unkept. She had some children, and her children used to be outside with no shoes. They was half dressed. She had an odor to her. She never really had her hair done. She was one of them kind of women, but she used to hang with us outside as well. It was a guy in a wheelchair. He used to hang with us as well. So I'm just giving y'all a dynamic of how we were in these apartments almost every single day. Me and Red is, you know, hanging out. We always would chill out downstairs with the group. And of course, I have this, I indulge in my little tree today as I did back then. We needed to get our stuff from somewhere, right? So I'm going to introduce y'all to Daryl. I'm not even sure if I used this name before. Should I use Daryl? Okay, I'm going to call him King. So King, I'm going to describe King to y'all. King was a short guy. King was maybe like 5'3". He was chocolate dark skin. He had a mouth full of goals, and he dressed well. Not going to lie, King was very handsome. But King had a baby mama. King had 5 girls. He had 5 daughters, y'all. 5 of them things. And they all stayed together. And he stayed in like the building next to us. But he was like the project tree man. Y'all catch me? You know this. Y'all call it that. The neighborhood tree man. That was King, right? So we were always like, King would always sit at the store, the corner store. That was his post. So Red was like, yo, Londa, let's go get some stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's go walk to the corner store and get some stuff. We walked to the corner store. This was like one of my first interactions with King. So Red had obviously seen King before. So because when we walked up, she just held a complete conversation with him. You know, what's up? How you doing? I ain't see you today. And she got the stuff, and we walked off, and we go back to the group of people, and we chill out for the rest of the night. So as the days go on, you know, anytime I needed my little stuff, I would pay for it, or I just had a boyfriend who would give it to me. I never really had an issue getting that kind of stuff. But one day, Red had a toothache, y'all. Like her jaw was swollen. Like she had like an abscess in her gum. And I don't know if y'all ever experienced something like that, but it hurts. But hers was very swollen, like very, very big. And I just know she was in pain. Now, the last thing you would want to do, right, is take a puff of some stuff and your gums is like irritated and it's infected. No, Red wanted to do her thing and she wanted to go get her stuff from Daryl, right? I mean, not Daryl. I'm changing his name to King. So she wanted to go to King to get some stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, most of y'all should know already that the corner store is literally a 2-minute walk. If you don't know and you're new, well, the corner store was literally a 2-3 minute walk from the apartments, y'all. So we get up and we go walk to the corner store again. And I didn't know that Red didn't have any money. So when we walk up to King, you know, she talking to him, but the conversation was a little different. This conversation went like, my teeth infected. Can I credit a bag? Don't be like Red, be better than Red. I am in no way, shape, or form encouraging anybody to indulge in marijuana at all. But what I am saying is, if you can't afford your habit, you should not be doing it. I have never credited a bag from no man in my life. Don't be like Red, be better than Red. But anyway, she was like, my tooth is swollen. Can I credit a bag? And when she said that, I was just standing next to her embarrassed because you could have asked me for a little $5-10, girl. So King is just, he was like, he was staring at her. You know, it was kind of embarrassing. Like, well, if your tooth swollen, why do you need to credit a bag of stuff? Like, you know, it was so embarrassing. But he gave it to Red, and we go walk back to her apartment and we end up chilling. So now she's feeling all giddily, y'all. She feeling like the girl. She's like, oh, you seen how he was looking at me? And I'm like, he was okay, he's cool. She was like, nah, like nobody ever let me credit before. Like he really liked me. He let me credit. Like he let me credit. And the whole time I'm listening to Red, but I never was that girl. Like even all the ignorancy in that apartment building, I still was just like, I never could be a part of it. Like I was just so different, y'all. I just was a smart girl. I don't know. I just couldn't relate to what she was saying because I didn't see what she saw. But Red was definitely persuaded, convinced that King liked her because he gave her a little bag of stuff. Is my little part? Something always cricket on my hair, y'all. I don't care. So she was definitely convinced that King had liked her because he gave her a little $5 little bag of stuff. And I just, okay, if that's what you feel, Red, then that's what you feel. She is struggling. She was working at Burger King. We barely can pay our little rent over there, child. You know, she was struggling like most of us. So she kept crediting from King. Eventually King told her, you know, like, if you gonna keep coming to me asking me for credits, then you know you're gonna have to give up a little something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing free. That's how she put it to me. Like, you know, if I'm gonna keep coming to him for free stuff, he wanna kind of date me, or like, you know, that's how she put it. So I'm like, okay, what you mean date? Or like, you know, reading between the lines, he wanted some ass, y'all, for that weed. So she, again, she's smitten by King. She really liked King because we're talking about it. And the whole time, you know, again, I'm always thinking to myself, she's talking about how fine he is. And, ooh, girl, his goals are so fine. And, girl, he's the local tree man. And, oh, I'm so turned on by him. And I'm like, well, Red, you know this man has a family, right? We see them every day. Like his baby mom walked past our door like every day with those girls going to the store. Like, you know, this man have a family. Like he has 5 daughters. Like, why are you trying to flirt with King? And every time that I was with her when we went to King never gave the impression that he really was like into her like that. He just was a guy doing his thing. Like he never really gave an extra you know, indication he was into Red like that. But I let her cook, child. If she want to feel like that, then girl, go ahead and bake. Do your big one. But you wrong. You know you wrong. This man have a family. You wrong. I'm telling her this. But of course, again, y'all, I'm traumatized by the things that I saw and the things that I went through in these projects. Okay, so like I told you, I was not really close with Tia at this time. I've seen her around and I spoke to her, but I wasn't really like close to Tia at this time. I was hanging with that lady I had described at the beginning, the one who was unkept, the one who had the little odor to her, and she, she just whatever. She decided to get her hair done, and y'all, Tia did. She didn't do hair. She did like plaits and braids and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'll go knock on Tia's door for you and ask, can she do your little plaits or whatever? So she was like, bet, thank you, because I don't know Tia like that, but I've seen you talking to her before. She pretty much felt comfortable asking me to ask Tia. So I'm like, okay, bet, girl. Like, I'm in my head, I was like, damn, finally you need your hair done. Nah, but seriously, y'all, I'm like, okay, sure, I'll go ask Tia. So me and the girl, we go walk up to Tia's door. I bang on Tia's door. I'm like, hey girl, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. She want her hair done. Tia was like, yeah, $50, girl. I can start your hair right now. So we're all on the porch. The girl is in a chair. Tia is doing her hair, and I'm sitting on like the step. Because I told y'all Tia stayed on the second floor. So I was sitting on like the step, just like talking and looking at them. So we're talking. Tia has started the girl hair. She's maybe on like row 3 because she was getting some plaits. And we just talking, and I did not know that Tia at this time was a blabbermouth. She didn't really know me or the girl, but she sure told us her business. So I'm sitting there, and like I say, time is going on. She's still plaiting the girl hair, and so now she's become talkative. Like, she's telling her business, and she's telling us how yeah, girl, like, I'm single and I've been talking to this dude around here. And so now she got my attention. So I'm like, what you mean you talking to this dude around here? The girl who was getting her hat on, she was like, yeah, girl, what you mean? You talking, what dude you talking to around here? Because not to mention, Miss Funk, the one who was getting her hair done, she was a little get around too. She used to like mess with the maintenance guys around there. She used to mess with like the old tricks around there. She used to get around too. So I guess she wanted to make sure she wasn't talk about none of her men. So I didn't have a man, so I just was all ears. So I'm like, girl, who you talk to around here? She was like, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I just wanted to, what y'all think. Like, he took me here, he took me there, and, So I'm like, girl, he sound like a good man. Like, is he cute? We girl talking. And she's like, yeah, girl, he fine, girl. He got like a mouthful of goals, and girl, he kind of shorter than me, but that's all right. So me and Funk, we stopped and we looked at each other. So I don't know if Funk was catching on, but I sure was. So she continued telling us about the man, and she was like, yeah, girl, I like him a lot. And she was like, yeah, girl, and I think he's so fine, and he be giving me trees to smoke and all of that. And I was like, ooh. I still didn't say nothing, y'all, but I was just like, okay, yeah, for real? Yeah. And when she finally finished talking, I was like, Tia, who is you talking about, girl? Like, who is you talking about? So Funk, who hair she was doing, Funk was very messy, y'all. She was very messy. The girl was very messy. You couldn't tell her nothing. She couldn't hold water to save her life. So when I looked at Tia, I was like, girl, who you talking about? And she, did her mouth, and she was like, and I was like, who? She was like, I was like, girl, okay, I'm gonna wait. So she plaits don't take no hour or two. We just sit there the whole night for like hours. She finally finished Funk hair, and I'm like, girl, who was you talking to? Who you mess with around here? Cause I'm like, who is you talking about? So she was like, King, girl, like King. I was like, ooh, why you like King? She was like, yeah, girl, and he could eat a good. And I was like, ooh, girl, I just can't contain myself. Messy. So she was like, yeah, girl, he eat a good head meat. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, hold on now. So she's just giving me all the details. I'm being messy, but at the end of it, I still said the same thing to her what I said to Red. I was like, but you do know King has a baby mom and he has 5 daughters. They stay there. She was like, girl, I don't care. He said they don't even they're not together. Like, he told me that she just stay there and he helping her get her own place. How many times we have heard this from men? Oh, that's my sister. Oh, that's my baby mama, but we ain't together. She just stay here. How many times have that men have said that bullshit to us and we have fell for it? Hey, I ain't never getting me like that, because I don't want no man who stand with no woman. But girl, you believe that? We see King and his baby mama and his 5 daughters walking to the corner store every day. Like, how can you think they're not together? So she didn't care. I didn't care, y'all. I really didn't care. I only cared about, like, the fact that he had a baby mom. Like, his baby mom must be just going through it over there. Like, if Red like him and then you like him and then it's just a lot going on. It was a lot going on. Child, she done told me how this man done flipped the smacker, whipped her, tied her up, put socks in her mouth and gagged her, all type of stuff. He done try. He did a lot to her. She gave me details, honey. And I ain't gonna lie, D look like he can whip it and flip it. He did a good job. I had to, I just had to hold that in. I didn't really go back and run and tell Red, y'all, because King is not Red's boyfriend. Like, they're not together. So why am I gonna run back and tell Red? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm out there hanging out again, y'all. We being ghetto. We out there. We playing cards, dominoes, smoking weed, music loud, talking crap, just being ghetto, no lies. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was somewhat not a lot. I was okay, but just out there being ghetto, right? So of course, the departments talk. The projects talk, y'all. The projects talk. So we're out there, and of course, I'm hearing shit in my ears. I'm hearing that King is now messing with the girl who stay on the other side of the building, who has a boyfriend. I'm hearing that people done seen Tia sneaking in King's house. I'm hearing all kind of stuff downstairs, y'all. I'm hearing it. And me and Red is downstairs. So now Red is like, what y'all talking about? Y'all seen who? So I'm like, I'm always just looking like stuck, y'all. So she was like, who? So one of the boys was like, yeah, I think King was arguing with his baby mama the other day because she came home and seen Tia in his living room or something like that. And Red was like, Tia? And I was just, I'm like, ooh. I knew what Tia had said to me, that he was up there, in his house, flipping it, whipping it, and smacking it. I didn't mention that to Red, though. So, of course, I have to act surprised just like she is. I'm like, so so the boy is just like, yeah, I was over there the other day, boy, and she was like whipping on King and saying she tired of him cheating on her, and yeah, and he not only messing with Tia, messing with the other lady and stuff like that. So me and Red listening, and she's boiling, but I'm just gagging, and because in her head, King is her man. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna get out of hand. It's gonna get out of hand. This is the projects. It always gets out of hand. I didn't know how out of hand it was gonna get because, like I told y'all in my other story time, Tia is a force to reckon with. Tia is one of those girls who just you don't want to fuck with her. I've seen Tia in action, and Tia is one of those. She's one of those straightforward girls, in your face, don't play no games type of girls. Like, I didn't know that until one day I seen her check a girl, and I was like, yeah, she ain't nothing to be fucked up with. But I didn't know how out of hand this was gonna get, Red, we hear all of that. We in the group, we hear all of that. Red is mad, of course. She's a little upset. Oh, I thought he liked me, and I don't understand why she thought King liked her. He never gave the number. Like, he never gave any indication. I guess Red just really liked King. She the one had the crush on King, So, woohoo, me. I had landed another job. I used to walk around so angry looking, y'all, like when I was younger. Especially when I stayed over there. I used to walk around looking so miserable because that's how I felt inside. I used to walk around. I didn't notice it at the time, but I used to walk around with frowns. I used to look sad. And it was an older gentleman stayed in the apartment building. He was older, but he was cute. And me and him would always like talk. And so one day I was walking in the middle of the building. Okay, let's rewind just a little bit. So that day, Red told me she was going to D house. Damn, why I keep calling this guy D? She told me she was going over to King house, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm thinking she's gonna go over there to get her little stuff, you know. Okay, she's going to King House. So when she went to King House, I go through the middle of the projects, and as I'm walking through the middle of the projects, the older guy that I was just mentioning, he would always talk to me all the time, tell me how smart I am, tell me how beautiful I am, and how I was different than a lot of the women over there. And he was just telling me all the time how he observed the community and he see me, that he pretty much was just saying that I was different from a lot of people that was over there. So we having this conversation, and again, woohoo me, I had just landed another job. So I was working at Macy's, and Toys R Us had just called me and told me they wanted me to work for them. So I'm happy. So the guy, you know, we're talking, me and the guy, I'm like, yeah, I just got another job. And he's like, oh, that's amazing. Like, you work real hard. I see that. Like, you know, and as I'm talking to the guy, I can see somebody walking on the side. And when I looked, it was the ass of Tia. So, so I instantly stopped talking to the old guy, and I think for a minute, I'm like, oh, Red supposed to be going to D house. So Tia was heading to D house, is what I'm trying to say, and Red is supposed to be at D house. Why do I keep calling this guy D? God damn. I told y'all this man name is, I wanted to call him Daryl, and then I switched it to King. Come on, brain, focus. Red was at King House. I see Tia walking to King House, right? So I stopped talking and I look at the ground, and I'm getting to thinking. I'm like, oh, shoot. Tia going to King House and Red over there. So I tell the old guy, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm going to see you later. Thank you for your congratulations. Yeah, I got to move. So he walked past me, and I keep going towards the end of the building towards King House. And I looked to the building, and I'm like, I just knew something was going to happen. I just knew they was going to bust out fighting or arguing. I just knew it was going to be pandemonium, right? I get to the end of the sidewalk, and I look toward King apartment, and it was quiet. It was nothing. So I'm standing at the end of the sidewalk, and I'm like, what the hell? That was just a minute ago. I just seen Tia walk. I know I'm not So I walk to King door, right? And I'm looking through the door, you know, I'm listening, seeing if there's an argument, some stuff ruffling in there, because I just knew that it was going to be some stuff, right? I don't hear nothing. It's quiet. So eventually the door opened, and Tia comes out, and she was just like, girl, what you doing here? You finna buy you some stuff? I was like, nah. I just seen you walk past, and I was just coming to see what you was doing. I really was just going to be nosy to see if a fight broke out, but it wasn't nothing, so I didn't say nothing. So I'm like, nah, I was just walking by, you know, whatever. So I goes back to the other side of my building where me and Red stay at, right? I guess Red must have went to King House, got her stuff, and just immediately left. I'm assuming that, because Tia didn't catch Red in the house with King. So, you know, a couple hours passed by. Again, no lives. We're out there on the stairs, just music blasting. You know how it is in the projects. And I'm there with Red, and I'm still thinking like, damn, this is strange, you know? Like, how come I don't know, y'all. I really just thought that Red was inside of King's apartment, you know? So we're downstairs, and Red decided to go upstairs to her apartment. I stay downstairs because I'm hanging out with the guys. So I see Tia coming down the sidewalk, and Tia look mad. So I say hi to Tia. Everybody say hi to Tia. I'm like, hey, Tia, what's up? What's up? What's up? Tia like, hey, girl, what's up? She continued walking toward the middle of the apartment building. So we're all just looking at Tia, because usually Tia is happy, but she looked like she had an issue today. So we're staring at Tia. Mind you, Red has not come back downstairs. So Tia decides to sit on the end of the stairs below Red. Y'all following me? Red stay upstairs. It's some staircases. Tia is sitting at the very end of that staircase. So I'm like, I'll go walk over to Tia. So I'm like, Tia, what's up, girl? She was like, nothing. I'm finna beat this ass. And so I'm like, who? She was like, Red. And I was like, why? What's going on? She was like, girl, earlier I went to King House and I seen Red walking out his door. She was like, we got to arguing a little bit, but then I heard you knocking on the door and we had stopped. So I'm like, oh, I knew something went on. But I'm assuming that Tia just didn't take it there. She must be seeing Red and just kept it cool. But she didn't like act up at that moment. So that's why I thought that Red got away. So I'm steady talking to Tia because she's sitting on the staircase and she mad. Like when that foot get to rocking like this, you mad. So I'm talking to her. I'm like, what you mean? She was like, yeah, I went to King house. He told me to come over. Now, y'all, where is his baby mama in all of this? I have no idea. King had 5 daughters. I don't know where they were when these girls was in his house. I don't know. Maybe she had another boyfriend herself. Maybe she was at her mama's house or at a friend's house. I don't know what his baby mama was at all of these times. But anyway, back to the story. So Tia is just like, yeah, we started to argue, but when you came, I didn't want nobody in our business, so I just played it off. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So I'm like, so what you want to beat her up for? She was like, because that's my man. Not delusional. So I'm like, Tia, don't fight Red over this man. Like, this man has a baby. This man is in a whole relationship. Why are y'all about to fight over this man? So she was like, nah, disrespected me. She disrespected me. I know she heard that I'm with him. I know she heard that I'm with him. And true, she did. Red did hear. Red did hear that she was messing around with King. She did. That's true. So Tia was like, I want to be her. I want to be her. She disrespected me. So I'm like, Tia, please calm down. Like, calm down. Like, it's getting rowdy now. This is the project. It's like schoolhouse. When the fight break, when people, when you know somebody about to fight, what y'all do? Everybody gather around to see the fights. Project the same way. So they hear me talking to Tia. So everybody cut the music down and everybody is just looking at us, waiting for the fight. So I'm like, Tia, please, you don't have to, like, it's okay. Like, this man already got a relationship anyway. Like, why are y'all arguing over this man? So she's like, nah, it's over my respect. I'm tired of these hoes trying me. Like, people around these projects swear I'm soft. Like, I want her head. Like, she heard that was my man. I mean, she was going off. And I'm trying to calm Tia down. I'm like, calm down, Tia. This whole time, Red has no idea what's waiting at the bottom of the stairs for her. So I decide to take myself up the stairs. And I bang on the door. And I'm like, Red, what you doing? She come to the door. And I'm like, girl, Tia is downstairs. And she say she got an issue with you. So she's like, what she mean she got an issue with me? I said, earlier today when you went to King house, she saw you leaving at his house. She was like, no, she didn't. I said, yes, she did. I said, yes, she did. This girl, she downstairs and she waiting. So I ain't gonna cap. My friend wasn't no punk now. So I'm like, Red, y'all don't have to fight over this guy. King has a baby mama. Like, why are y'all fighting over this man? He has a relationship. And the whole time, King, where? We see King nowhere. Where is he? He's nowhere to be found. Like, we always see King every day, day in and day out, slinging his trees. Where is he when we really need him? So she closed the door. She comes back out, y'all. Red has on some shorts, some tennis shoes, a big t-shirt, and a do-rag. She was ready for what? My friend wasn't no punk. So I'm like, Red, you don't have to fight this girl like this. Y'all don't have to do this. Everybody downstairs still staring, just being messy. So I go back downstairs. Now I'm talking to Tia. And I'm like, Tia, like, y'all don't have to fight. Y'all don't have to do this. Now my auntie, it's a big community. My auntie stayed right across the hall. My auntie come outside. My auntie like, Red, girl, go in the house. You don't be out here fighting over no man. Take your ass in the house. You don't need to be fighting. And she, like, auntie, no, she want to fight me. Let's fight. So my auntie yelling at Tia, y'all some pretty young ladies. Y'all don't need to be down here fighting. And she like, nah, auntie. Everybody called my auntie. She was like, nah, auntie. I got my issue with her. These hoes keep trying me. Y'all, my auntie looked at her, closed that door. My auntie ain't had time for these young girls. She tried and she closed the door. So everybody downstairs, we did have a couple stand-up men that was like, y'all don't need to be fighting out here like this. Y'all don't need to be doing that. But Tia wasn't hearing it. So I ain't gonna lie. I take a seat, y'all, because what am I to do? I wasn't messing with King. That's why I said Red was always in some mess. She always was in some mess, and I was just there to witness it all, most of it at least. Everybody's downstairs. Some of the men trying to break it up. The little kids is amping it up. So I just take a seat and I'm just observing at this point, because what can I do? So Red comes outside and she make it to like the middle side of the walkway. Like she made it to the middle side of the, like, how can I describe this? I'm horrible, y'all. This is the staircase, y'all, right? Right, this is the staircase. Red stay up here. She comes like to right here. And before she can even make it down the stairs, y'all, her daddy come out of nowhere. Like Red daddy. I haven't seen her daddy since we was in high school. Now, how I'm describing this seems like a little 1-2-1-2. But this fight was huge. When I say everybody outside saw everything, my auntie even came outside. Old people who barely come outside came outside. I hear people pulling up from the other building. It was a big fight about to happen. It was a whole lot of. So I guess somebody called Red's dad. So she make it to the middle of the staircase, and Red dad come out of nowhere, and he like, Red, take your ass in the house. Out here fighting over this damn man. You know something my dad say. So he comes up the stairs and he's pushing Red back upstairs, trying to stop her from coming downstairs to Tia. The whole time Tia is quiet, y'all. That's how you know she was a beast. She's quiet. She's sitting at the end of the stairs and she's just ready. So Red dad push her back upstairs, and I'm like, yeah, man, go upstairs. Go upstairs. Some reason, some way, somehow, Red got away from her daddy, y'all. Ran downstairs. She tried to run up on Tia. Y'all, Tia stood up and she boop, boop, boop. Red face, y'all. All I seen was blood. Like, I don't know if she bust her lip initially or she bust her nose. All I saw was just red in this region. Now, she flew back on the stairs, and this fight was like 20 seconds, but it felt like 30 minutes. So Red flew back, y'all, and I'm like I said, my friend wasn't no punk. So Red gathered herself and she got back up and she, boop, boop, boop. I ain't gonna lie, she pulled hair. She pulled the hair. She grabbed Tia hair and she, but she got her some licks in. But again, Tia was that girl. Tia was, while Red was, Tia was boop, boop, boop. You see the difference? So some of the men was just like out there. They jump in and they try to help Red Daddy break the fight up. Red Daddy like, yo, stop acting like this. You don't act like this. And da, 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 da. Tia is still not saying a word. That was one of the quietest fights I've ever heard in my life. Like, she didn't say nothing. So they eventually separate them for a little bit, and I come back over there and I'm talking to Tia. I'm like, I didn't go to Red first because Tia was having a bet of her. That's why. Her daddy got Red. Daddy got Red. So I'm going to go get Tia. So I'm talking to Tia. I'm like, Tia, calm down. Please just calm down. Like, you got to bleed and like chill. She was like, nah, I ain't done. I want this issue. I ain't done. And I'm like, Tia, calm down. Like, even my auntie done took off her muumuu and put on her sneakers and came outside so she can help regulate these girls. Like, my auntie was out there. She was like, Tia, calm down. Like, girl, I didn't know you was like this. You were forced to reckon with. Yeah. So Tia was like, nah, I want her again. And I just could not, for the life of me, really understand the anger. Like, I guess if your man cheating on you, I guess. But he wasn't really their man. So it was like, I kind of understood the anger, but not really. She was angry. So we got Tia in the corner and we like, Tia, please calm down, please. Please. Ma'am, you are fucking Floyd Mayweather's daughter. Please, calm down. Okay, Mike Tyson daughter, please, calm down. So she calms down a little bit. Or so we thought. So she calms down a little bit. So she sit on my side now. So, she moved from the stairs and she sit where my auntie stay at. Red is calmed down. Her daddy done got her to calm down, made her go inside. So we sitting down there again. And I just remember the door flying open and Red running down the stairs again. But this time, some guys stopped Red from getting to Tia. So Tia was really mad at those guys. Downstairs, it was an abandoned apartment. It was empty, raggedy. So instead of Tia, I guess, getting to beat Red head in, she got to beat the glass in on the windows on the the empty apartment downstairs. She just boop 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 boop. She smashed him in with her fist, y'all. Yep, and that was the end of the fight. That girl was crazy. And that's when I really knew that Tia was a force to reckon with. This whole time we didn't see nothing of King. King wasn't at the store selling his stuff. We didn't see him walk down the apartment building. We didn't see King at all that night. Every time some stuff go down, the man is never around to be there to break it up or witness anything, y'all. Red was beat up pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie, my girl got beat up. She lost the fight. It wasn't that bad, but she lost the fight, y'all. She lost the fight. Tia eventually calmed down. Tia goes back upstairs to her apartment with her son. And, I walk her upstairs and I'm like, girl, you good? She's like, I'm good. I'm not worried about nothing. Like, whatever. I'm not worried about that hope. Talk to Tia, make sure she was okay. Go to Red house. Because Red was really my girl. And, I talked to her, made sure she was straight. She had a few tracks pulled out. She was bleeding real good, and I helped clean her up. And her daddy in there still cussing her out. But I had grace on her, And, yeah, that was really the fight, y'all. And let's just say I became close with Tia, too. Because that fight, all of us really, we started, like, kind of, I won't say friends. But we all kind of started hanging out after that. Like, I don't know. I guess Tia got over King, and I guess Red realized King was never her boyfriend. And yeah, we kind of all was kind of hanging out a little bit, a little bit after that. Not really friends, but we was kind of cool. And then eventually, Tia moved away and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the story time, y'all. That the project was something to be reckoned with. That fight was crazy. Red got beat up. Red got beat up. And I couldn't do nothing to help my friend because it's like, why you being delusional over a man that ain't Charles? That he's not yours. Unhand him, please. And yeah, I think that King baby mama left him, y'all. I think that because, even to this day, my auntie still stay in those apartments. And I think, my point in saying that was I was going over there for years after that happened, and he was not with that woman anymore. She took her kids and they left him, girl. And yeah, that's the end of my story time. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video, leave your comment down below. Subscribe to my video if you already not, and hit the notification bell so you can keep up with me and know when I upload. And until next time, y'all, I'm out. Peace.